If you haven't heard of ChatGPT yet, where have you been? Artificial intelligence isn't new to the world of video, but today we're talking about whether it can actually be helpful for your video scripts. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz and I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, I am very new to the world of using AI for any type of content creation. It was always kind of out of realm for me because I'm not a very techie person, despite the fact that I serve as a video coach and use equipment all day long. But of course, as we've seen, artificial intelligence and the study of it is spreading across every single industry, while people try to see whether there are better, faster ways to automate the things that we are already working towards. So for this reason, I had no choice but to dive into ChatGPT to see whether people like you and me who are making videos could actually benefit from a program like this. Now, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Believe me, it's not my specialty to know this type of stuff. But this program is developed by a company known as OpenAI. So they've been developing artificial intelligence related softwares and apps for some time now. And now this one has just stormed out onto the scene in the last couple of months. We're finding that we can put practically any type of instruction into it and then generate some very reasonable responses. So for this reason, it might be helpful for those of us that are stuck at some point while we are thinking about video content and how to structure our topics. So today we're really thinking about whether this is going to be helpful for us or more of a hindrance for us. Let's jump into it. Now remember that this platform is really pulling information from all across the internet and also learning and relearning the best responses for things so that it can give you something that is quite solid and relevant and useful for you. But the thing here is that your client has already looked all over Google before they bumped into you. They are still struggling with their pain points despite the fact that they have probably already done a lot of research on their own. So does this mean that you looking at ChatGPT and getting information from there and giving it to your client is the same as your client just going directly to Google? Not exactly. It's not the same thing. Now, while it's true that AI might generate correct factual information, remember that your client sees value from hearing you express your story, talking about your lessons learned, your failures, your successes, your description of their pain points. These are the things that your client actually cares about. So when you put out content that ChatGPT has given to you, then you are really just kind of regurgitating stuff that they probably have already heard all over the internet and from their own research. Instead, what I would say is if you are going to use AI, then use it to outline your video content so that you have some points to be inspired by and then talk from the heart there. Remember that your client does not really need just more information. They want to hear your take on it. They want to hear, what do you feel about those points? Are some of those points wrong in your opinion? Are some of those things what your audience is already doing that they don't need to be doing? So these are the things that your actual client wants to hear. They don't necessarily just want to hear a list of points that they can also equally find on ChatGPT if they go and enter that in. So you're probably wondering, well, Liz, when I research a video topic, I go to Google anyway and I get some points. That's absolutely fair enough. I understand that because we do have to do our research before we put out videos. But remember, the whole point of doing research is to get correct information so that you're not misinforming your audience. ChatGPT is a good place to get that. So is Google. So are any of the other search platforms. But the point of your video is to use that factual information and present it in a way that is relevant to your audience, not just as facts, but in fact as lessons, as discussions, as things to inspire them and motivate them to continue on their journey.
Now, one thing that I really like about ChatGPT is that it's easy to find and it's easy to use. It is as easy as coming to Google and typing ChatGPT into the search engine, and then here it is. So let's click on this. And then I've already created an account here, which was about a 5-second process. So that's why it's opening up so easily. So first you'll create an account from the home page that opens up. And then every single time you will come to this button. So let's click that. And this is the screen that we always see when we access this program. Now there's two ways that you can really search for some information here. And I like the fact that this screen is really intuitive without a lot of bells and whistles to complicate anything. Either you can click the new chat function, or you can simply type your search here in the field. Now let's pretend that we are a fitness coach for pregnant women, And we want to use this tool to help us shape some video content in different formats. Now, we already have our content pillars established and we know what are the pain points of our audience. So now it's as easy as coming here to look for some extra inspiration. So this is an example of something that I can type. Write a script for a 15-second Instagram reel about why pregnant women may hesitate to exercise. So let's see what we get. So right away we get these suggestions, and this just helps us to formulate our thoughts so that we don't have to stare at a blank screen wondering, where do I get started? So it tells you some of the voiceover suggestions, some of the shot suggestions. So of course you will make this as easy or as complex for yourself as is within your resources. But this is a really great starting point. Now at this point, we might want to create another piece of video content on this same topic, which means we can come up here, hover over our original chat and simply click the edit function so that we can edit this out, or we can come back to the field at the bottom and then type a new chat request. So let's do that. So let's say that we want to take the same topic, but we want to make a YouTube video about it instead of an Instagram reel. So I'll type, write an outline for a 10-minute YouTube video about why pregnant women may hesitate to exercise. And now let's see what we get. Okay, so that's giving shape to our outline right away. Now, as we're reading this, we might feel like some of these things are not necessary, or we want to save some of these ideas for another video later. Or, of course, we can just kind of change the shape of it altogether. But at least this prevents you from overthinking and feeling like you are stuck even before you get started. So it's providing a fairly comprehensive outline for this type of a video. And it even tells you at the end to summarize the points, remind them of the benefits, and provide any resources. So this is really great. It's a great starting point. Now let's say at some point you want to do a live stream about this same topic. So let's work on that now. Create an outline for a 20-minute live stream about why pregnant women may hesitate to exercise. Exercise. So now let's see what we get. Okay, so right away it's telling us to greet the audience, provide some stats, explain the purpose, some common concerns. So you as the expert, when you read all this, you're going to know what is relevant to your audience and what is actually feasible to talk about in a 20-minute live stream. You don't want to overwhelm your audience by packing in too much information, but you still want to cover all of the relevant points. So it's going ahead and doing a pretty good job of giving us this info. And a lot of this is similar to the information we saw in the 10-minute YouTube outline that we asked for, but a little bit is also different. Look at that. At the end, it even reminds us to leave some time for question and answers and to address as many questions as possible and to have a proper conclusion. That's really great. It's a great starting point. And don't forget to thank the audience for joining the live stream. That's amazing.
Now we're interrupting this video so that I can remind you to subscribe. Don't forget to do that. And if you're interested in creating videos in a small corner of your home, then I would love to send you a free resource so that you can set up your own home studio. Make sure that you look for that in the description below, and I will send it out to you right away. Now let's get back to our video.
Okay, let's say at this point, now we are ready to do a master class on this same topic. Let's see what we can do here. Create the content for 30 PowerPoint slides for a master class about pregnant women who hesitate to exercise. Now let's see what we get. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to generate 30 PowerPoint slides for you. Okay, so it says that 30 is just too much. So let's stop generating. Let's take this same topic and let's edit that. Let's say 15 PowerPoint slides. Okay, so it's reminding us that because this is text-based AI, that this program cannot create the PowerPoint slides. However, we don't really need ChatGPT to create the slides for us. We just want the information. So here it is. Look, they've put out all the information for 15 slides worth. So you can browse this general structure and see what is not needed from here, what is useful from here. And of course, if you're having a master class, then you will have your own introduction and your lessons learned and maybe some testimonials there. You might have a pitch at the end of that or talk about any of your paid programs. So this is not to be taken just verbatim, but it just gives you a little bit to start working with so that you know how to structure the content. And don't forget that while you're looking at all of this, the whole point is that you can read all of this text that's here and then continue to be inspired for other topics. So there might be little sub points that you are noticing here that you haven't actually talked about in any of your other video content. So this is just going to give you some more ideas like that. So let's say that we've had enough of that. We can just stop generating and we have all of this to start working with. Okay. Let's say that we browse through this and then we see something that's really interesting to us. Okay. Dealing with fatigue, how exercise can help alleviate fatigue, how to prevent injuries, finding support. Okay. Let's say that I really like this one, how exercise can help alleviate fatigue. Let me just copy that so I have it on my clipboard. Now what I want to do is I want to create a couple videos, but I'm really bad at thinking of video titles. So how about this? Generate some catchy video titles for a video about how exercise can help alleviate fatigue in pregnant women. Instead of saying some, let me say generate 5. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so it's giving us some suggestions for titles. That's also really useful. We might want to just tweak the wording so that it suits our own brand voice. And of course, if you're creating videos for YouTube or any platform that is very search-based, then you need to check for SEO, do your appropriate keyword research, all of that stuff. But at least this prevents us from just staring at a blank screen and feeling completely stuck. Not only that, but any of these titles can be used for different type of content. It doesn't necessarily have to be a video. Now let's say that we want to take this one step further. We've created a bunch of videos on this topic and we've done the live stream and the masterclass. Let's say that we actually want to host that masterclass that we have the PowerPoint slides for, but we want to put some paid ads behind it. Let's do something like this, right? Okay, so here we go. Now, of course, Facebook ads, it is an art being able to write the copy for that. Not every piece of text is going to appeal to your ideal target market. So make sure that you have done enough research on that so that you don't just copy this verbatim. On the other hand, if you're feeling a little bit stuck and foggy about what type of wording to use for this ad, this at least gives you something to think about. It gives you a shape that you can just continue to tweak and make better so that it suits your own brand. Now, one thing that you can do once you've created your ChatGPT account is that all of those chats that you're looking at will be saved here on the left panel. So if you want to come back and reference them, it's really easy to do that. But you can also just click this edit tool so that you can edit the title of those so that it just makes it a little bit more comprehensive for you later when you are looking at that. So here I've retitled that here. If I wanted to, I could even put the date at the beginning of that. January 12 _. Okay. Okay, so later when I come back and I look at all my various chats, at least I see that it's in order by date. So that's another thing you can do. So you can see how very, very easy this tool is. And you can go down a real rabbit hole by digging up more and more information on all of these topics. Just because you get something like this here doesn't mean that you are only stuck with this information that's been generated. You can continue to dig deeper. Let's say I wanted to generate 5 catchy video titles for this title now, or for this topic. Then I could look that up.
Now, sometimes I really worry that people are going to start using ChatGPT and any other program like that to start putting out really smart sounding content when that doesn't actually reflect the way that they talk in real life. Don't forget that your market is eventually going to bump into you somewhere, either on a phone call or on a consult or on a Zoom call or in a webinar or somewhere where they're going to have to hear you speaking without the aid of artificial intelligence. So at that point, you don't want all of this to backfire. You don't want to be sounding very smart in your content creation and then sounding with a completely different voice in real life. So be sure to use AI sparingly, just to inspire you with points, to help you just outline things in the right order so that there's a nice sequence to it. That type of thing can help you really to save time in the long run. However, all the actual content and the nitty-gritty, the meat and potatoes of your video content should come from you, from your experiences, and from your heart. So if you like this video, I hope that you will give it a like, share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, because every single Tuesday, I bring you a new video showing you how you can add video to your business. So until next time, take care.